All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're diving into a Google project with a name that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, anti-gravity. But as we're about to see, the reality is all about making coding feel, well, weightless. So when you hear anti-gravity, you're probably thinking about floating humans and defying physics, right? Well, not quite. The name is a really clever metaphor. Instead of lifting people, it's about lifting the weight of software development. All the friction, the tedious tasks, the stuff that slows coders down. The whole idea is to make the entire process feel lighter and faster. So here's our game plan. We're going to start with that mysterious name. Then we'll get into what an agent-first workspace actually is and how this AI does more than just suggest things. And, most importantly, we'll talk about what this means for human developers and where coding is headed. All right, first things first, let's clear the air about that name. As you've probably guessed, Google isn't building a spaceship. It's all a metaphor for the project's core mission.
You see, at its heart, anti-gravity is all about one thing: getting rid of the weight. Think about all the repetitive, frustrating parts of being a developer. Setting up environments, writing boiler code, running endless tests. The goal here is to strip all that away so coding feels less like a chore and more like pure creation.
So how exactly are they going to make coding weightless? Well, it starts by completely rethinking the developer's environment from the ground up. They call it the agent-first workspace, and it puts AI right at the center of everything. And I want you to forget about just another plugin or a slightly better autocomplete. We're talking about a brand new, unified space where AI agents are your main collaborators. They don't just help you write code, they write it, they test it, they run it, all for you. You're not just using a tool, you're basically sharing an office with AI teammates who do the grunt work. And this idea, this agent-first architecture, is a huge shift in thinking. You know, most tools we use are built for a human to click and type into. This system is different. It's designed for the AI agents to be the primary users, with the human developer acting more like a director or a guide. It totally flips the old model on its head. So how does this work in practice? It's surprisingly conversational. You can literally just talk to an agent and say, hey, can you build out this feature? You can tell it to keep a record of everything it does, and then ask it to walk you through its steps. It's way more of a natural collaboration. Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. Because this AI doesn't just talk, it actually takes action. This is the real game changer that separates anti-gravity from pretty much every other AI tool out there today. It moves from just making suggestions to actively doing the work. This slide just nails the difference. The AI we're used to is reactive, right? It suggests a line of code or answers a question, and then it just sits there, waiting for you to do something. Anti-gravity agents are proactive. They don't just suggest, they execute. They don't wait for you, they work for you. That's a massive leap forward. And when we say execute, we really mean it. These agents can do real developer tasks. They can run your entire test suite, install new software packages, open a web browser to check a result, and even take screenshots as proof. They can write documentation for the code they just created, and, this is huge, they can actually explain why they made the decisions they did. The best way to think about this is like having a super fast, super capable junior engineer on your team. It's not the project lead or the architect. It's there to take direction, handle the well-defined tasks, and free you up to focus on the big, tricky problems. But that brings up a massive question. How do you trust it? How do you let an AI run wild in your codebase? Well, the answer is a system they call artifacts. It's simple, really. The agent does a task. Then it automatically creates proof, an artifact like a screenshot, a log file, or the exact lines of code it changed. That way, the human developer can always go back and review the proof. It creates a complete paper trail, which is the foundation for trust. So, all of this leads to the most important question of all. What does this mean for developers? The idea here is human minds, AI hands. It's all about how the job of a developer is going to evolve, not disappear. Okay, let's just tackle the elephant in the room. Does a tool like this make human developers useless? It's the first thing everyone thinks when they hear about powerful automation like this. And the answer is a very clear and emphatic no. The goal here isn't to replace developers, it's to augment them. It's designed to take over the tedious, repetitive, and honestly, the boring parts of the job so that humans can focus on what we're best at, creativity and problem solving. This chart breaks it down perfectly. The AI becomes the hands. It does the mechanical work,
running tests, installing packages, writing all that boilerplate code. Meanwhile, the human remains the mind. We're the ones architecting the solutions, solving the really creative problems, and guiding the agents to bring our vision to life.
So, no, this is not the end of the developer. Not even close. It's the beginning of the augmented developer, someone who can build bigger and better things because they have a powerful AI partner handling all the tedious stuff.
So finally, let's zoom out a bit. What does a project like Antigravity really tell us about the future of coding? Well, the vision is for a process that's just lighter, smarter, and way, way faster. Now, of course, let's be realistic. This is a public preview, and it's definitely not perfect. The agents can get stuck, their actions might fail, and it absolutely requires a careful human to supervise it. It's still a very new technology, but the direction this is all heading is what's so incredibly exciting. And that future is really something. Just imagine a world where writing code is dramatically faster, where debugging is a collaborative conversation with an AI, and where documentation just magically appears as you work. This points to a future where software development is less about the mechanics of typing and much more about the pure expression of ideas. And that really is the ultimate takeaway. This quote says it all. The first step toward a world where coding feels weightless. Google Antigravity isn't just a new product. It's a peek into a future where technology finally lifts that heavy weight off our shoulders, letting our creativity and our ideas truly take flight. And that leaves us with one big question. What are we going to build when we're no longer held down by the gravity of our tools?